Good morning. So, dropping body fat, toning up, getting fit. Probably three of the most common things that the ladies will say when we're starting off on our 21-day kickstart program. And I think the key thing with this, I want to go over what you need to consider with your exercise and your nutrition to make sure that you're actually doing what you're doing is aligning to those goals, because quite often we just do stuff because, I don't know, we see it somewhere else, but it's not actually aligned with the goals that we want. So if we take that, for example, so this morning we had our 6:15 and our 7 a.m. sessions where, morning Michelle, this was all about actually creating tension in the muscle. And a great Sue, one of the ladies on the program, actually described it great. Oh, it's just, let me just reconnect. Here we are, perfect. Yeah, we're back on. So she said, I'm sweaty without really moving too much. And this is a good point I want to touch on. It was low impact, but actually lots of muscle tension, all from body weight. And I will show you something at the end. If you're just coming on, say hi, let me know you're watching. And what I want to go over here is what it means to tone up, drop body fat, get fit, and actually what you need to be considering with your exercise and your nutrition. So firstly, let's take your nutrition side of things. So to drop body fat, we need to make sure that we have a calorie deficit. Now, this is obviously a lot of people will preach this all the time. Some people say calories don't matter. Energy in, energy out is just how we lose body fat. Okay, so we need to make sure we're having that. Now, within that, to make sure that we're toning up, what this actually means, toning up, is increasing muscle and losing body fat. So to make sure we preserve as much muscle as we can, or even build it, if we're new to this style of exercise, like resistance style or doing something a bit more structured, chances are, if you're interested in increasing any style of exercise, you're going to start increasing your muscle, which might help you tone up or appear in better shape, if you like. So you can't choose where you lose fat from, but for example, you can spot enhance it, so by working a certain muscle, and I'll go on to the exercise a bit in a minute. But back on that nutrition, we need to make sure we get enough protein in to make sure that we're actually preserving / have the resources to build that muscle, to change our body shape. So there are two key things to consider with the nutrition side of it in terms of toning up. And to create a calorie deficit, 2 quick points to help with that. Number 1, get protein at every meal. Really simple, actionable thing. Chicken, meat, eggs, soy, meat alternatives, beans, legumes, lentils, chickpeas, whatever it is. Get them in, that will keep you fuller for longer. And yeah, it's going to help with that. Then try and get 3 to 7 veggies a day is a great thing to do. Just don't worry about the exact number. How much should I have? Hey, Tilly, how much should I have? Just aim to get 1 more. Be consistent with it. Get a rainbow, 5 different colors. Great, it's going to keep you more full up. Lots of greens. Go to town on it. So, few things to consider with nutrition. Now for the exercise. Now this bit is often, I think, misunderstood, probably more so actually. In that if you want to tone up, like I said, you need to be training in a way that actually creates tension in the muscles. So any exercise is great, don't get me wrong. Walking, great. Jogging, great. Cycling, great. Running, whatever. Sport, great, it's fun. That's the key thing. You want to do something that's fun. But if you go back to your goals and think, right, I want to tone up, you've got to consider what stimulus you're providing the muscle and what you're telling it to do. Morning, Julie. So you've got to consider what stimulus you're telling the muscle to do. So if I'm just walking, yeah, my muscles are working, but I'm not really training with intention. And what I mean by that is to actually cause or promote that muscle to change shape, to grow, to change the body shape. Remember, muscle, if you take a pound of muscle, it will look like that. Pound of fat might look like this. So it's the same weight, you can weigh the same, but actually you're smaller, 20% smaller in fact. So your weight could stay the same, but you're actually toning up. That's what that illusion creates. So you want to train in a way that promotes that, promotes hypertrophy as the word. So to do this, you need to make sure that you're training not necessarily to failure, but at a level where you are pushing yourself a bit, but in a way that you're doing it inefficiently. So what I mean by that is when you're running, you'll find a stride which is very efficient, right? Your body wants to do it in a way where it doesn't burn as many calories, so it conserves it. Now, Obviously, you can't run that fun. You can put back on, stuff like that, make it harder, run up hills, walk up hills, which is great. When you're doing resistance exercise and general movement, let's say a squat. If I do a squat and I'm just going up and down really fast, straightening my legs, a lot of the tension is actually going through my knees and my joints. Hey Jane, a lot of the tension is going through my knees and joints. Whereas if I just go, right, actually, I'm going to come down 10 seconds, for example. 10, 9. I recommend you actually do this. 8, 7, I'm digging my heels into the floor as I do this. I'm imagining I'm drilling into the floor and keep my chest out. And then I pause, 10 seconds, 9, 8. Imagine you're a rocket trying to take off. 6, 5. You're thinking about the muscles, squeezing it. 3, 2, 1. Then I come up 10. I'm digging the heels in. 9, 8. The tension is totally different. It's the same squat. It's the same move. It's called a squat. Your muscle doesn't really... You've only done 1. I could have done 10 reps before that. But when you shift the focus to, okay, can I make my next rep better than the rep before? Can I create the tension in my muscle to actually create enough tension to go for the muscle to go, actually, we need to adapt to this. Just like Sue said in the session we had this morning, she was like, yeah, I haven't really moved much, but I'm really sweaty. Because you've created that tension, you've got that muscle-mind connection. Because once you get that, there's a lot of benefits. 1, you're promoting that toning up process. 2, you're also taking pressure off the joints, which is probably one of the biggest concerns a lot of the ladies come when starting their 21-day kickstart. They're like, you know, I would have started with you. Hey, Anna, I would have started with you before, but I wasn't sure whether I could do it. And it's only through seeing some of your exercises and speaking with you that I actually thought, oh, I can do that. And sometimes it's a mindset thing, of course, but taking the pressure off your joint by actually feeling the muscle a bit more. So just consider that what you're doing, you need to find something that's fun for you, definitely, 100%. Do what's fun for you. If it gets you moving, do that 100%. But just consider, if you're not achieving your goal, this is if you're not achieving your goal, if you're like, right, I want to get fit, toned up, and you're like, you know what, I'm doing exercise, but it's not working, just consider whether the medium and the process, what you're doing, is actually aligning with your goals. Because sometimes it's not your fault, it's just that maybe what we're doing is perhaps what we didn't know isn't actually stimulating the goal that we want to achieve. I hope that makes sense. Comment below if that makes sense. If you have any questions on that, do let me know. Is that making sense? Give me a yes in the comments if it is. And give me a hello if you are just coming in. So I hope that helps. And yeah, just really try and think. Because sometimes it can be really frustrating when you're doing all this stuff, like eating well and exercising, but not doing your 10,000 steps, which is all great stuff. But sometimes you're like, you know what, my body shape's not changing, I want to target here. You can't choose where you lose fat from, but you can spot enhance. And that's why resistance exercise does offer people such a good way of actually changing their body shape and get away from the scales, because then sometimes it's not about just the scales, it's actually about feeling fitter, feeling stronger, doing everyday tasks. Like people mention sometimes, you know, I'm moving stuff in my garden where I always used to ask my husband to move them before. Now I'm moving them. My biggest thing is saying to them, well, make sure you still give him something to do, otherwise he's going to be in your position before. So, great stuff. Hey, Kim. Cool. Good to hear, Michelle. Perfect. Thank you, Tilly. Good. Brilliant. So, any questions, let me know. Have a great day. If there's any other topics you want me to cover, any questions you have, do comment below. And remember, it's bank holiday on Monday, as I always forget. Anyway, have a great day. Speak soon and take care.